Breaking news! Tensions are already running high in Pittsburgh as the Steelers prepare for one of the most important off-season training camps in years. With some stars likely to be absent, high-profile rookies fighting for their spots, and a few UDFAs set to shake up the roster, fans are full of questions. Will familiar faces return? Are roles being quietly reshuffled behind the scenes? And could a rookie outperform a veteran in a critical position race? I'll tell you everything I know so far. But before we go any further, make sure you've hit the like button if you've been a Steelers fan for over 20 years. It's great to see you here. If you'd like, comment, "Go Steelers! Let's go to the Super Bowl this year." Yes, my friends, I dream about it. Let's get right to what's happening around your Pittsburgh Steelers as OTAs officially begin, setting the tone for the 2025 season. One of the most polarizing storylines involves none other than defensive end TJ Watt. After Cam Hayward skipped OTAs during his contract dispute last year, many are wondering if Watt, entering a similar impasse, will do the same. While these sessions are voluntary, Watt's presence, or lack thereof, could be a telling sign of how negotiations are going. There's a growing expectation that he could become the NFL's highest-paid edge rusher, surpassing Myles Garrett's $40 million per year mark. It's a steep price for a 30-year-old, but last season's drop-off after his injury proves just how vital he is to this defense. From defense to offense, the receiver room brings intrigue of a different kind. The Steelers didn't bring in a big-name WR1 this offseason, so all eyes shift to Roman Wilson. The second-year player, who virtually had no rookie season, enters a key developmental phase. Early indications suggest he'll work primarily out of the slot, especially on early downs. Expect Robert Woods to handle the run-heavy downs due to his veteran blocking presence, while Wilson and Calvin Austin rotate through passing situations. But the opportunity is ripe for Wilson to solidify a larger role. With fans craving answers about the WR depth, this week's reps will speak volumes. Meanwhile, the cornerback situation has sparked a three-way battle royale at the nickel spot. Beanie Bishop Jr. enters as the presumed starter, having made crucial plays last year, but questions linger about his size and coverage skills. Enter Brandon Echols, Dante Kent, and Sebastian Castro. Castro, a UDFA out of Iowa, has particularly impressed, bringing size and instincts that could earn him a serious look if Bishop falters. If Kent or Castro flash during OTAs, don't be surprised if this battle drags into training camp with the starting job still wide open. Speaking of comeback stories, Cole Holcomb's return is quietly one of the biggest questions of this offseason. He missed all of 2024 due to a gruesome knee injury, and now with Patrick Queen in the building and Peyton Wilson emerging from a strong rookie year, Holcomb's status is uncertain. Is he still viewed as a starter, or has he been demoted to rotational duty? Early OTA reps will tell us everything about how this coaching staff views his recovery and current ability. Then there's rookie running back Caleb Johnson, a player Steelers fans are eager to see in action. A bruising, fast back from Iowa, Johnson is viewed as a possible solution to the team's need for explosive early down runs. However, given Mike Tomlin's tradition of making rookies earn it, Johnson may not see first-team reps right away. Don't be shocked if he begins OTAs behind names like Trey Sermon, Cordarrelle Patterson, or Kenneth Gainwell. Still, if he flashes the same burst from rookie minicamp, it could accelerate his rise. And of course, we can't ignore the ongoing UDFA wave. Sebastian Castro is back in focus, not just for his defensive versatility, but because of how much praise he's already earning internally. Then there's DJ Thomas-Jones, a violent blocker who may be the answer to the team's fullback dilemma. If he can outshine Connor Hayward as a lead blocker, he could fill a gap the Steelers have been trying to plug for years. With Rock Taylor and OL prospects like Aiden Williams and Gareth Warren also in the mix, this OTA period could define which overlooked players sneak their way onto the 53-man roster. So here we are, with critical eyes on the field and hearts pounding in anticipation. With high-stakes contract drama, position battles, and rookie debuts all colliding at once, this week's OTAs are set to shape the identity of the 2025 Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you think, Steelers Nation? Should TJ Watt show up to OTAs, or is it smart to hold out until the deal is done? And that brings us to a pivotal moment that could send shockwaves through the Steelers organization, because if TJ Watt decides to hold out of not only the voluntary OTAs but even the mandatory minicamp, it opens the door to deeper concerns about the timeline and tone of these contract negotiations. Steelers fans know all too well how crucial timing is when it comes to signing top-tier talent. We've seen deals get done just before training camp in the past, but given what's current leverage and the Steelers' clear win-now mode, this situation has more urgency than most. If what is absent for an extended period, it doesn't just affect the edge rush rotation, it affects every layer of the defense. Alex Highsmith thrives on the attention what draws, the interior line gets cleaner looks, and even the secondary benefits from rushed throws. The domino effect is massive, and for a team that wants to reassert itself in a brutally competitive AFC North, Watt's presence isn't just beneficial, it's absolutely necessary. There's no replacing his production, leadership, or the sheer fear he puts into opposing quarterbacks. Moving back to the offensive side, the Roman Wilson narrative is developing into one of the most compelling underdog stories of the offseason. Remember, the Steelers didn't just draft Wilson to fill a slot. He's a calculated addition meant to modernize this passing game under Arthur Smith's new-look offense. There's a reason fans are keeping a close eye on how Smith deploys him in OTA formations. If Wilson flashes sharp route running and reliability in contested situations, he could begin to nudge his way toward more three-wide sets, perhaps even carving out a role in the red zone. That would force coordinators to think twice about doubling George Pickens on every down, and that's where things start to open up. Now, regarding the interior linebacker room, the intrigue doesn't stop with Holcomb. Peyton Wilson, despite only one season under his belt, might already be forcing the coach's hands. His combination of sideline-to-sideline range and nose for the ball was one of the few consistent bright spots in last year's unit. If he takes the majority of first-team reps over Holcomb this week, it might be a clear indication the team is leaning toward youth and upside over veteran recovery. Add Malik Harrison to that mix, a known Arthur Smith favorite from his AFC North days, and suddenly you have a crowded room with limited snaps to go around. That's why every single rep this week matters. From who's getting the most time with the ones, to who's rotating in on third downs, coaches are building mental notes, and those notes often become the blueprint for the early camp depth chart. And the rookies? Caleb Johnson continues to be one of the most intriguing wild cards. His style, big, fast, aggressive, feels tailor-made for Arthur Smith's run-heavy, physical offensive system. If he shows any ability to pass block and hold his own in blitz pickup, the coaching staff could be tempted to use him more than expected. Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren might be the established names, but Johnson could be the missing gear that helps this backfield regain explosiveness. Then there's the fullback competition, quietly simmering under the surface. DJ Thomas-Jones is a name Steelers fans should start getting familiar with. If he continues to impress as a blocker and short yardage option, he might leapfrog Connor Hayward in the pecking order. That would be a shocking twist, considering Hayward's legacy and utility role last season. But remember, Smith's offense demands physicality. If Thomas-Jones brings that in a way Hayward doesn't, this staff won't hesitate to make a change. The UDFA class is also shaping up to be another potential gold mine. Sebastian Castro is standing out early, and while it's still only shorts and helmets, the instincts he shows in zone coverage and his nose for the ball are turning heads. You can't teach football IQ like that. And if you're a Steelers fan still stinging from some past slot corner struggles, Castro may be the quiet solution to that long-standing weakness. Rock Taylor, another overlooked prospect, is flashing potential too. If the wide receiver room stays as thin as it currently is, don't be surprised if he becomes a camp darling, the kind that starts OTA work with the threes but ends up climbing the ranks by preseason. Of course, we also have to keep realistic expectations for the offensive and defensive linemen. Without pads, it's difficult to evaluate physical trench play, but in terms of technique, quickness off the snap, and how they handle mental reps, those details do matter. So, Steelers Nation, what do you make of all these storylines colliding at once? Which position battle are you watching most closely? Do you think Roman Wilson is ready to break out, or should the team still target a veteran WR? Let me know in the comments.